Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the Tuesday edition of Today in Sports Betting. Joined as always by my partner, Mr. Scott Reichel. Scotty, how are you today?
Doing pretty well. I know that my bracket still has all four of its final four teams in it, so can't complain too much. We'll see what happens. I feel like the games tonight or last night, I should say, were pretty entertaining. They were kind of similar in a way because it looked like the game was going to get extremely ugly early on, and then
Right.
the game got randomly close, and then
hmm
the team that was winning the entire time pulled away late. So it was kind of identical in terms of script, but can't really complain. I thought the games were pretty good.
Yep, it was fine. We did well. Our consensus was 2-0 in the first game, I know, and then it was
We split on the
ended up
second game, so.
ended up splitting in the second game as we all had the under and pretty much buried us in the first half there and put up 84 points in the first half, I think. So,
It didn't help when Baylor was on pace for about 100 points in the entire game, about
yeah.
with 12 minutes into the first half.
Yeah, that's a quick team. Did you know that?
They're good. I know Mitchell. I don't know if I've ever actually seen him hit a jump shot that was from three. It seems like he always just drives to the lane or settles for mid rangers. But Butler is the real question mark of that team.
Yeah.
I know we both like the under in his player prop. We mentioned it on the radio show, and that ended up hitting. It was 16.5. He landed at 14. I don't trust him at all, like late in games. I think his decision making is disastrous at times.
He does seem to have lapses. I completely agree with that. It'll
I
be
really like Flagler. I'm a big Flagler guy. I know he didn't have a great game yesterday because he came off the bench, he had some foul trouble early. I know Teague, of course, took over and Mitchell was very good. I actually really like Flagler. I think he's clutch.
I like him too. It was good to see Maceo Teague show up. I mean, as well as they've been playing in the tournament, he really hasn't been a major factor. I didn't think. I thought that he is. I
Prettiest
thought he
jumper
had
in
another.
basketball, right?
What's that?
Prettiest jump shot in basketball.
It is pretty. It is pretty.
A little
So
Charles Barkley, like a little pump fake. It's like a mix of Barkley's golf swing and Bill Cartwright's jumper. That's kind of
right.
what you got going there.
So of course we talked about it yesterday. We do have just two games today, and we are selling our premium picks on the college side. So we're going to, after doing the teas, we're going to talk about the NBA tonight. If you would like, I do have my daily premiums available. I got a couple college plays there. We do have our college consensus plays as well. If you guys are interested, check those out at winnersandwhiners.com. And I do have a first half play on my free play of the day video. Scott has promised to take more college basketball from the women's side, so we're all excited about that.
That is just not happening. I didn't actually film my play of the day yet, but I had UConn minus 3.5. Everything I said about the game was correct. I said the line would move to around 5.5 or 6. I believe they closed at 5.5. I said Buchers would have a great game. I believe she had 30 something, and yet UConn was up 7 with about 4.5 minutes to go. Third best offense in the country, 0 field goals in the
Couldn't
last
close.
4 minutes, and they won by 2.
Couldn't
So
close.
happens.
All right. Well, let's take a look here at the. We've got one game on the TV, Scott. Just 4 games on the card. So
But we're throwing in an extra one because we're generous.
that's right. That's how we roll. So let's take a look at the Philadelphia 76ers here, shall we? As they continue their Embiidless run. Pretty nice job, actually, they've done here without Embiid. Would you agree?
You definitely can't argue with that. This team you thought would potentially fall apart, especially with the Nets being as talented as they are. You thought that Philly would probably just forfeit the 1 seed at that point and probably be fighting off Milwaukee for the 2. Not quite. Philly's been holding pretty strong.
110 of their last 12, not too shabby at all. They have in that stretch, they've covered 9. So I got no beef with that. They got 9 and a push, so they failed to cover just 2 times in that 12-game stretch without Embiid. Yeah, I'm good. And on the other side, you and I like what Aaron Gordon brings to the table with Denver. They've played very good in the games that he's played 2 games for them, I believe, right? The New Orleans game and the Atlanta game.
I don't remember if he played the New Orleans game, but I do remember that he did look pretty sharp against Atlanta in the last game.
Yeah, I think he just started over the week. I think that was his first game. You're right. That was just over the weekend as they played Atlanta there on Sunday.
Now, I'm not going to completely overreact to the game against Atlanta. Atlanta did look pretty good going into that game.
Right.
But as a whole, I was skeptical of the move when they made it. They only gave up 102 points to Atlanta.
Yeah.
They actually looked a lot better.
Yeah, this is a defense that, certainly has the capability of playing. I don't know, they're playing lights out defense, but they have the ability to give up, less than 110, which is not shameful in today's NBA.
Well, how much of that do you blame on Jokic for being arguably the worst rim protecting center in the entire league?
Not really his thing, is it?
No, not at all.
Well, I blame a great deal of it on him. Do you think he would? How would he go with a complimentary big man?
You mean like a Mason Plumlee type? I mean, they
Yeah,
occasionally would go with two of them last year. I mean, I guess it worked occasionally. I know Mason Plumlee left Anthony Davis wide open for that three-pointer in the series against
right.
the Lakers, but I don't really know. It's more about spacing. I think it
Yeah,
depends. Like, you can make an argument that a perfect complementary would be like a Brook Lopez type because he just stands at the three-point line and he can
right.
also block shots. So that's kind of this idea, I guess, you're trying to go there. But it's really just a question of Jokic, of course, is a favorite to win MVP. He's so dominant offensively. But you just have to accept the fact that defensively, he's a disaster. And there's really no other way to put it, right?
He's not good. He's not good. It's a testament to the way the rest of this team plays defense, that they're not just Pelicans, T Wolves, Kings level bad as far as the points they give up. But and I think there's no small part of that that's
Well, some of that's pace. So some of that's just manufactured points because Sacramento's awful at defense, same thing with the Wizards, but they also go extremely quickly. Denver is awful defensively, but they slow it to a crawl. So the
yeah.
final scores don't look as embarrassing, but there's also because there's less possessions to work with.
Well, right, and it's all about efficiency at that point. So, having said all that, I know you're on Philadelphia here, right?
No, I actually like Denver in this spot at around, I believe it's 4.5. I believe some Philly money has come in, so there might be a 4-2 around, a 4.5 or so. I'm pretty sure I saw Bet Online at 4. Is that correct?
I believe the last time I checked, Bet Online had it at 4. Yes.
I think it was 4 at minus 115.
Let me double check DB there.
I just checked. It's 4 at minus 115. So for that matchup there, I actually like Denver. I'm thinking of the matchup and everything I just said about Jokic being bad defensively. You're against Dwight Howard, who probably the same amount of post moves that we have combined.
Easy.
So I think that Jokic can actually match up pretty well with him because Dwight, besides dunk, doesn't really have much in the repertoire. And you know that Jokic is still going to really do a great job of breaking apart this Philly defense. I think Denver's actually going to go on a decent run here. I know I wrote them off as one of the teams I'll never bet on after they got killed by Toronto. Shout out to Toronto for getting killed by Detroit today. So I believe they're 1-12 in the last 13. One of them was when we took Denver. But still, I might have to take them off the list because with Gordon now on the roster, it's kind of a new team in a way because I think that he changes the identity of that team by making them more both physical and athletic, in particularly the front court. So I think Denver's actually underrated, and I think they could potentially go on a bit of a run over the next couple of games.
Okay.
That's just my thought. It's kind of just a leap of faith because you've only seen one game with Gordon. And I know that Atlanta has been pretty good over the last couple of games with McMillan. Denver impressed me. And maybe it's one game sample size, but I actually am kind of optimistic with Gordon on that roster.
Yeah, this is a Sixers team that hasn't exactly played the cream of the crop. And when they have, they've had some.
I guess.
They struggled with the Clippers in their last game on Saturday, but before that, they beat and covered the Warriors, the Lakers, the Kings. So
Not really that great of competition.
Well, that's what at least lately. No, they did play some teams there in the East. They played Milwaukee, ended up losing, but covering the number.
I'll take a look.
Yeah, you know what? I thought I was going to fade you, but I'm not. I will go with Denver here as well. I'll lay the 4. If we get rid of that hook, I like that.
People can talk about Philly and how this team has played well without Embiid, and that's definitely true. But you can tell offensively, this team is extremely limited without Embiid.
Correct. They are not playing nearly as good as offense as they are on defense. But I mean, as they were early without Embiid, but they are playing very good defense.
Correct. I'm just saying you look at who they actually have, and if Denver's main issue has been defense, I think Philly's below average offense without Embiid kind of neutralize it because Simmons, even though he's a good facilitator, he can't shoot. Tobias Harris had a very good year. I'll give him props for that. Other than those two, what exactly are you doing for points?
It's like watching the Jets play the Lions. You know the Jets have a terrible offense, and it's not going to quite be offset by the Lions' terrible defense. So, yeah, I get it.
I'm just looking at the team for Philly and just saying, well, assuming that Harris has an off game, which is why you got Aaron Gordon in the first place. You want Aaron Gordon to try to clamp down on a guy like Tobias Harris, for example. Who's really the second option for Philly? You just trust Seth Curry and Milton or Corcomus to hit a bunch of threes? Is that kind of your only option at that point?
That's it. That's exactly what you do. You're hoping to get somebody hot from the perimeter.
Danny Green, yeah. So the way I look at it, I got to go with Denver.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I'll ride along with you. I'll lay the 4. I'm going to lean under 2.
I agree.
Okay. I got it 221, right?
Yep.
Okay. All righty, sir. Well, let's take a look at the other game on the that we. It's really, like, how do you choose your games? Well, at this point, it's the only one we have a line for. It's the Atlanta Hawks and the Phoenix Suns. Got Phoenix minus 5.5 at home, 222, and the hook is the total right there. Almost seems too good to be true, my friends. It's almost one of those banana in the tailpipe type lines. I just feel like this line, the way the Clippers have been playing, I really feel like this line ought to be closer to 7.5. Am I wrong?
Wait, the way the Clippers are playing lately.
I mean the way the Suns have been playing lately.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
the Clippers, in fairness, Clippers are playing very well.
You're definitely not wrong about that. But looking at Phoenix here, this team's played very well lately, as you just said. They have won 5 of 6. They've covered in 4 of those games. Unfortunately, though, since I have Phoenix to win the division, I need the Clippers to actually stop winning games for once. But Atlanta has struggled a bit lately, lost 3 of 4, one win coming against the Curryless Warriors, which was a bloodbath from start to finish on Friday night. I feel like I can understand where you're coming from because of the fact that Phoenix has played well lately and Atlanta has not. However, you look at who Phoenix has played, they're really not great at winning by margin. I know I mentioned in the YouTube video, not the YouTube video, sorry, the radio show, that I liked Minnesota plus the 11 against Brooklyn today because Brooklyn doesn't really win that many games by a wide margin. Phoenix is kind of the same way. This team wins games, and I do acknowledge how good the record is. But if you actually just look at their overall recent results, they failed to cover against Orlando, Toronto, and Charlotte. I know that they've won 3. They won 2 of those 3 games. Every game's been decided by 4 points or less, and I think Atlanta has enough talent to potentially hang around. Having said that, I do think it's a pretty awful showing by Atlanta to lose by 24 against Denver. So I'm kind of on the fence here. I think the number's pretty much right. So I don't think it's a banana in the tailpipe thing. I think the number's just right because Phoenix has played a lot of close games, and Atlanta has been struggling. So I don't really know if I feel that confident laying the 5.5 with Phoenix. If I was going to play this game, I'd probably take the under, just because of the fact that Phoenix, of course, has been a great under team so far this season. Or let me just make sure I got this right. Yeah, they're 5-1 to the under in the last 6. Meanwhile, Atlanta's 3-3 to the under in the last 6. But if you look at the offense, team has scored less than 109 points in 2 of the last 3 games. Phoenix is an elite defense. I think that this game should be on the lower scoring side because I think Phoenix will control the pace. So my favorite play in this game is actually going to be the under.
All right, yeah, and I'm going to. I like the under. That's a fine play, but I do like Phoenix in this spot, laying the 5.5. This is an Atlanta team that has not been good on the West Coast here on this swing. They beat the Lakers. That was a nice win. Congratulations. But then struggled against the Kings. They took care of Golden State without Curry, and then struggled, like you said, losing badly to Denver. Yeah, I think the better team gets it done here. I know they haven't been great at covering the number against inferior teams, but they tend to do a better job of it at home. So I'm going to take the Phoenix Suns at home, laying the 5.5, and I'll ride with you on the under as well.
Okay, cool.
All right, very good. Well, normally this is the point where I'd say, is there any other games that get your attention? But there's only 2 other games, and we got no line. So
I would save one for a play today anyway.
So. Yes, and you have to save one for play of the day. So there you go. As always, if you're looking for more information on these games or any other games, don't forget to stop by and check out winnersandwhiners.com. Deep dives and predictions into every game every single day. And for myself, for Scott Reichel, for all of us over here at winnersandwhiners.com, we appreciate you watching today. Don't forget to give us the thumbs up. Don't forget to give us the subscribe if you haven't done so already. Of course, we wish you nothing but the best of luck today. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money back at the window. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow on Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody.